Hello, everyone. I'm Jean-Claude BeyondMystic, and welcome to this deep woo-woo episode entitled Intuitive Healing, the first in a series. Of course, you can find our guest tonight, May Levy, at deepintuitivehealing.com. Let's give her a big warm welcome. May, welcome back to the show.
Hello. I'm so excited to be here tonight.
You look a little bit nervous, May. What's going on?
I don't know. Maybe because it's the first show of my first series. So I miss Mimi.
I miss Mimi too. She'll be back on Thursday. I love it.
I
Well,
love being
folks,
here with you. It's going to be great.
let's give May a big warm welcome out there. Big hands and big love for May. Of course, you guys know her. She's been here twice on the Quantum Move Show. And this is going to be our first in a series of show entitled The Intuitive Healing with May Levy. And what's really cool about this is May has, if you haven't seen her shows yet, May has a very unique frequency to her and to the work that she does. And so maybe we could start there, May, for the people who haven't seen your shows before. Explain a little bit your healing modality and how you have all of these different dimensions into your modality and how you're so unique in that way.
Yeah. In 2017, I can hear myself twice, just letting you know. In 2017, I had a spontaneous Kundalini awakening that has opened a lot of the portals to different dimensions, and it evolved gradually. And I'm looking at all the comments. It's so sweet. Thank you, everybody. I can't look at it in focus. Getting this love. It's so sweet. Yeah, and it was an evolution of awakening, I guess, into my powers. And one thing opened up and then another thing opened up. And my modality today is based on scanning a person through automatic writing. It can be remote and it doesn't have to be my body. I have the ability that my energy field can sync with someone else's energy field. And I get like a clear download of how I can help assist them heal through, and it would normally be connected to the chakra system and the meridian system. And also it can be about physical pain if they wanted to ask specific direct questions about the body. And after I get that channel, when I can do this session remotely, if I do it remotely, my body, my energy field syncs with the other person and my body becomes kind of like my energy field. I'm in their body. And so when I do the work on them, I do it on myself and as if I'm healing and releasing it. I clear energy. So the first thing that I do, I scan, and then light language starts to happen. I start to speak light language, Lemurian light language, and overtone singing. And it does two things. One, it clears the energy out of the body. It comes out through my breath, through burping. I don't know if people know about burping, through burping and through breath. Yeah, and a lot of air comes out of my vessel. And the second thing that light language does, it also tones the body and helps to bring balance and brings the light into the body. If it's a physical session, the difference is I also work on meridian and pressure points if there's pain in the body. But I actually had a woman this week that she had pain in her shoulders. I was giving myself a great massage as I was working on her because we were working through Zoom. And she said that she felt a huge release from her shoulders after the session. I was like, wow, that's really cool because I did release a lot of tension from her through my vessel. I'm learning a lot through a lot of these remote sessions. So
That's awesome. Okay, that's a great introduction. So you're getting a lot of love in the chat. So feel very comfortable here. You're in a really good community. I have to mention this one more time, and there's a few people in the chat already said your microphone is making noise, and I know you're speaking with your hands, but every time you hit your mic, we're getting that feedback back in our ears. So try not to move that around too much. And
okay,
folks, Renee is going to set herself up with an outboard microphone here. Also, as we continue to do these shows, that wasn't ready for this episode tonight, but we'll get our act together here.
I tried.
It's okay. It's okay. One step at a time, right? So talking about one step at a time, May, when people come to you for healing, a lot of times, and what you're noticing now too, is they need a lot of clearing even before they get to the healing part. And right now we're being bombarded from every level. Let's talk about that. What do you see in your clients right now? How are they coping with everything that's being hit in terms of their frequency, their body, their nutrition, and how maybe would it be helpful for them to start doing some clearing before they get into the deep healing, intuitive healing sessions?
Okay, well, let's talk about energy, right? If we're not moving our body and if we're not treating our vessels with love, with drinking enough water and eating less sugars and less carbohydrates and more green and live food, then our body becomes really, really heavy. And we need to clear our vessels also with food. I always recommend a lot of water. And if it's hard for you to drink water, there's different things to put inside to make it taste better. You can put lemon, you can put electrolytes, different things that can make your body more nourished and hydrated. That's one thing. And then I wrote a list of things. So I'm just going to look at my list real quick. Dance. I know this is not like one of the normal things to clear energy, but it has changed my life. About 3 years ago, I discovered ecstatic dance. And I remember going to ecstatic dance. There was all these beautiful people moving their body and like really dancing really well. And I remember comparing myself. That was my first step into dance. And I went through this like purification process, the way I saw other people and myself through other people. Every time I went to dance, another layer came out and another layer came out. So what it does, I can hear myself twice again. Is it my...
I'll mute.
Oh, so much better. Okay. So as I started going to dance, my confidence started working better. My vessel was stronger because I was moving my body. And the idea of dance is no mind. If you're dancing and you're thinking, then you're not dancing. The idea is to move the body however the body really wants to move. It's really to quiet the mind and allow the energy to flow through you and move you and cleanse you out from here, from your thoughts, how you think about your body and yourself, how you think about other people. And you'll notice the difference when you look at other people or when you're thinking about other people and you're not in your body. So that's another way to clear energy, to really surrender and like give yourself permission to go into the dance fully and explore that. And you can, even if you're in quarantine and if you can't go out, you can do that at home when no one's looking. Invite some friends over, make it a party. Okay, so that's one thing. Baths. The people that have already worked with me know about bath recipes that I give them. So I've had a number of clients come up to me that my scan said 3 entities, 4 entities, 5 entities. I had a woman that had 7. Now, if somebody comes to me with that, it's a lot. So there are ways to start the purification process with entities at home. Bath recipes are potent if you do it correctly. So I'm just going to say, do I have time to share a recipe real quick?
Yes, of course.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes, of course. Go ahead.
So what I would recommend, if you feel like you have these energies attached to you, or if you feel unclear in your mind, and if you feel like there's something that is taking over, if you have an entity, it can, if you're foggy, if you're not thinking clearly, if sometimes you have thoughts that you think that are not your own, if you feel like you have a psychic attack on you. So I'll give you a recipe to do a bath. And what this bath does is subtracts energy that doesn't belong to you. So I'm going to do this intuitively. 3 cups of Epsom salt. The more depleted you feel, you can put more salt if you want. 1 cup of baking soda. Baking soda can help clear the aura. That's why you put baking soda. I don't know if you're familiar with Florida water, agua de Florida. You can make your own. It's a alcohol-based fluid that has essential oils and herbs in it. And you can make your own. It's really nice to make your own. If you make your own, you can make a big batch and just do these baths frequently, or you can order it online. Obviously, making it your own makes your whole house smell really nice, and plus it's a really nice thing to do for yourself. If you're dealing with entities, obsidian or black tourmaline, you put the crystal in there. You can use goat milk, which is really potent, or if you don't have access to goat milk, you can use coconut milk. You put the whole thing in there. Also with the Florida water, if you buy a bottle, you put the full bottle. If you want to add on something to your purification process, you can add white flowers. It's a beautiful thing to add to your bath. It looks beautiful, but it also is symbolic to cleansing yourself. Trying to think if I left anything out. And then, frankincense oil, you can add 3 to 4 drops. And then lavender oil or rose oil. There's different things. This is just to clear energy from like entities or really heavy energies. You want to use the frankincense and then the lavender so you'll have a nice aroma in there. As far as the prayer before you get in the water, I'm going to say the prayer and you're welcome to rewind and listen to me say it again and write it down, or you can get your pen and paper right now to write it down. So before you go in the water, put your hands in prayer and you just stand in front of the water after it's all prepared and you really give yourself a little ceremony. You can take some Palo Santo. I have some here. It's this purification stick and you can light it up.
I just lost your audio. Something you did. We can't hear you, May. I cannot hear you. Hold on, folks, here. Okay, we just lost May. So let's wait for her to come back on the screen here. In the meantime, guys, go check out her Instagram at LightScribeArt. Let me see if I can bring that link down. And this is also going to be used later on this evening here for an activation, this particular one here for the 7th plane. So if you want to click on that link and set that aside in your browser for now, we'll be back to that a little bit later in the show here. Okay, so I think May is back in the studio room. Let me try to bring her up. Hey, May, are you back?
Yes, I'm back.
Okay.
So sorry about that.
No problem.
You can light some Palo Santo or some sage and really like spin it around your head for 3 times and just your whole body. It's good to do things 3 times when you're cleansing your body. And so by now you probably have a pen and paper. So this is the prayer. So put your hands in prayer when you say it. Creator of all that is, I command to release anything that is less than love. I command all lower frequencies, all lower energies, all entities to be removed out of my vessel, and may they be brought back to the light, back to peace, back to complete wellness through all time, space, continuum, and multidimensional. And so it is, and so be it. You can also say, I reclaim my energy now. I reclaim my energy now. My vessel is my own, and I reclaim my energy now. And you can say it over and over again. If you are dealing with an entity, they have to leave. You can try it on your own, see if it works, see if you feel better the next day. Sometimes it's not that easy, but sometimes it is. It really depends what kind of energy you're dealing with. And I did say this on another show. There's 3 kinds of entities. Ones that are aware of themselves. Those are the harder ones to release. The ones that are not aware of themselves, a lot easier. And the ones that are trying to attack you, that's a whole different story. So yeah, those are, normally I don't work with those. I'm not quite there yet. So yeah, if you wrote that down, hope you wrote that down. This prayer is really powerful, and it's a great way to really cleanse your vessel. You can say it on a daily basis whenever you want.
Do you by any chance have that prayer on your website somewhere or on your Instagram for the audience?
I can put it together and put it on my website.
All right, so after the show,
okay.
Maybe for tomorrow's Instagram artwork, you can add that prayer. And so Sherry Ives was kind enough to write the concoction here for the clearing bath for everyone. So I have it on the screen. So guys, if you want to take a snapshot of that, I believe that's all the ingredients there. So that's amazing. Thank you so much, Sherry.
Thank you, Sherry.
That's amazing. Okay. The dances, the bath, the clearing. Okay, the prayer too. What you just said of how it works. What I understood also in my practice is the more I'm confident about commanding them to leave, the more they respect your confidence. Can you speak to that also? Because if you say, can you please leave pretty please, and you're not sure it's going to work, it's probably not going to work, right?
Oh, you want to command. When you command something, you like, if I was clearing something, which I've had before, you have to tell it like it is, you know? Like, I reclaim my energy now, you may leave. And you want to be firm because this energy doesn't want to leave. It's so comfortable in your body and it loves to be with you. So you really just want to be sure that it understands. And also, just when you command it to the light, you want to send it back to love, back to peace, back to complete wellness, because it also deserves to be in a good place.
Mm-hmm.
We're all the creator's light in a way. Even the darkness came from the light at some point.
Absolutely.
So,
yeah. Absolutely. Well said. Okay. And this is kind of why I chose that picture for your poster, because you kind of have that, you know, that chin up, like, go ahead, make my day kind of look. I love it. Oh my God. Who's that guy? Who am I talking about? Come on, guys, help me out. Who am I talking about?
Make my day. Like...
Go ahead, make my day. The cop, Dirty Harry. Who's that guy? Who's the main actor?
Harry who? I know, I'm kidding. I don't know.
Anyway.
I wish you could put the video clip so we could all see what you're talking about.
Right. Okay, maybe I'm showing my age here a little. Clint Eastwood. There you go, Derek. Okay. Clint Eastwood.
I should wear a cowboy hat next time.
Yeah, exactly. Clint Eastwood. Okay, everybody's got it. All right, Jenny. Thank you so much, Jenny. All right, cool. Okay, you said something about dancing earlier, and I wanted to prompt you because during, I believe it was the second episode of the Quantum Woo, in one of your clearings, as soon as you started, somebody in the chat here said, "Oh, notice her movement, like you were kind of doing a circular motion." And we talked about it, and you said, yes, the Kundalini was active and all that. But as soon as you had started, I had this image of you dancing in the nude. Okay, so you just said here that dancing is a big part of you in terms of healing the energy and also increasing that energy in your body. But you didn't talk about the nude part. And there's a reason I bring that up, because of this story that Sarah and I heard while we were talking with the Yakima tribe in Washington State near Mount Adams. But before I tell that story, talk about nudity for you, what it means for you in terms of healing, because a lot is attached to that. Shame, guilt, repression, all of these frequencies are attached to our bodies and the distortion that has been placed upon us, either by our schooling or religious or moral beliefs and all that stuff. And a lot of that is in the way when you start dealing with old programs and trying to clear people to get to that healing energy. Can you speak to that a little bit?
Well, I would like to use, African tribes as a great example of how healthy self-love, radical self-love in the body, between elders, younger women, older men, they celebrated their body, doesn't matter what age. And the children were raised in the tribe, saw nudity, and it wasn't a big deal. It was a healthy way of loving the body. And so nudity is important for self-love. And not only that, it's important for other people to see bodies in order to be like, hey, we're not all perfect, right? So
Right.
Flaws are accepted, and flaws, because there's no such thing. We're all perfect in our imperfections.
Mm-hmm.
I'll share a story, because you shared a story. If you want, you can share it later with what you had with Sarah and those two women,
Sure,
older women.
sure.
I had an opposite experience. So I'll go first, and then you can share. Well, you go first, and then I'll share my experience.
No, you ladies first. You go first.
Okay. So last year, me and my ex-boyfriend, we went to hot springs in Oregon, and they said clothing optional. And I live in Nevada City, and people here, they go to the river. It's the normal. We take our clothes off. We don't want to disrespect the water with our clothes because it makes the water dirty when we put our clothes in it, and we honor nature when we go in nude, and it's nothing shameful. One time I had an experience with another woman that was from out of town, and she yelled at my friend that was nude, and it was like, wow, you can totally tell you're not from here, because whoever's local doesn't go with clothes on. Like, we really honor nature. Anyways, with that mentality, we went to hot springs in Oregon, and clothing optional. So me and my ex-boyfriend, we go in fully nude. No one was nude. At all the pool, there were 3 pools. They were full of people when we walked in. And then they started leaving. So I was like, this is a great way to get your own pool. But like, come on, people are so disconnected from their bodies that they feel uncomfortable around people that are naked. And it's our natural state. It shouldn't be this way. We should know how an elder body looks like. We should know how a younger body looks like. We should all embrace and celebrate our physicality in all shapes and forms. And I believe that if we went into that modality of like, oh, this is normal and natural, nudity and sexuality, and there wouldn't be such a big deal. And I don't think sickness with like sexuality sickness would actually be there as much, because it would be celebrated and people can see each other. It would be the normal instead of being like, oh my God, she's naked. Oh my God, there's boobs. Oh, it's like, it shouldn't be that way.
Okay, wait, I'll unmute myself. I'll mute you for a second while I tell my story, because people are saying still there's an echo. So I don't know if it's our connection tonight. My meters, everything's saying there's no echoes, but people are hearing an echo. So maybe for the folks, drop out of the video and then come back out, or maybe refresh your browser and come back. Maybe that'll help you guys, because I see some of you are saying that it's fogged out, and some of you are saying 5x5 and everything's 5. So it could just be a server issue, and it has nothing to do with May and my connection here tonight. So anyways, we'll keep going, and I apologize for the sound disruption, folks. Okay, so I won't mute you for now, May. We'll try to get through this, and hopefully we're going to be okay. Okay, 5x5, Ronnie. Okay, thanks, Ronnie. I appreciate that. Okay, so I've had similar stories than yours. Okay, so first of all, and I understand what you mean. Like, a lot of people are triggered by this still, and it's unfortunate because, of course, it is our natural state. And it's not just that those events are unfortunate. It's because those events carry into their personal lives. When they have those emotions, those feelings, those disruptive. No, that's not the word. Distortions around their body, it brings that energy field into their lovemaking with their partner. And it also brings it to themselves. They have shame, guilt, all this stuff attached to themselves. So the self-love aspect is also affected by these distortions. So this is something big that everybody should be talking about. It's so fundamental for everyone. So my story, so I'll talk about the other side of this equation. So the Yakima tribe chief was talking about how in Mount Adams, and they were talking about these old traditions that had been brought down from generations to generations. They had explained that originally the tribe had access to these entities that lived in the mountain. I'll just leave that there for now and not go too much into that rabbit hole. But essentially, when a tribesperson was sick or injured in battle or whatever, the tribe would bring that person up to the mountain to a specific place where essentially a door would open up, a communication would happen, and the tribesperson would go into the mountain. And then that tribe person would come back out a couple of weeks later, sometimes a couple of months later. Not only would they be healed, but they would be stronger, healthier in every aspect. And so it became known that that mountain or whatever was inside of it had these amazing healing properties. And now what the tribe was saying is that this today is closed off to the human population. We now have this disconnect between whatever dimension those entities are and this 3D world. But we're eventually going to go back to opening those doors. We're close to that point now. And maybe this is something that the light language has something to do with, and maybe you and I can track back on that later. So at any rate, so what the Yakima tribe recommend now is to have a similar effect, not the full effect of this healing, is to go into those waters that trickle down from the top of Mount Adams through the mountain and through the river at the foot of the mountain. And the chief was very specific. He said, if you're going to go into those waters to receive the consciousness and the healing energy of the mountain, you have to go to it like a child would go before God. And what he meant was, you have to go nude without your armor, because if you have armor on, you're not going to receive anything. And so Sarah and I was like, all right, that's cool. Okay, that's great. We'll give it a try tomorrow. We'll do this pilgrimage and we'll go to the sacred spot that you guys recommend, and we'll do this thing. And so that morning we set up to go, and just lo and behold, behind us there was two other ladies walking apparently to the same spot. So I was like, oh, Sarah, maybe this is going to be uncomfortable. We're going to have some company, right? And I'm not sure if this is going to be okay, or we're new to the area. We don't know like what the rules are and everything. So I'm like, okay. And Sarah says, well, if you're walking behind us, it's because it's meant to be. It's okay. Don't worry about it. I'm like, all right, let's go. So we get to the spot, and of course, Sarah starts getting undressed, and I'm paying attention to these two other people. And one of them is an older lady, 60 something plus, maybe 70 plus. And the moment she lays her eyes on Sarah, she just freezes. Like you can see her knees just lock into place. She freezes. She's just staring at Sarah, and then she starts walking.
Can't hear you very well.
Man.
Oh wait, now I think it's better.
Okay.
Okay.
Guys, can you hear me? Okay. Give me a 5x5. The sound is muffled, so it could be the internet
now
connection.
it's better. Yeah,
it could be the internet connection. Why am I getting a Clint Eastwood? Okay, 5x5. Okay, I'll keep going. It could be the connection, guys. Sorry about that. So I hope you guys can hear me. Okay, Libby can hear me now. Okay. So anyways, this woman, and she just locks into place and she starts going like this. I'm like, oh my God, she's dizzy. I'm like, do I have to catch her? Is she gonna fall? So I'm paying attention to this. And then the older woman, she just like snaps out of her daze, takes off all her clothes, grabs Sarah's hand, and she says, Sarah, they introduce each other, and she says, oh my God, you don't understand. For the last 60 some years of my life, I've been extremely mortified about my body, to the point where on my wedding night, I had to make love through a hole in my nightgown with the lights closed. Like that's how I was taught to be ashamed of my body. And she said, I went through therapist after therapist, healing and all of this stuff for years and years, trying to get rid of that shame that I had in my body. And she says, just seeing you there, standing in that frequency for a few seconds, burnt it all away. And that's why I said, fuck it. Like, this is it. This is who we are. So that healing happened in an instant because another person was holding that frequency and showed the way. And of course, there's the healing properties of the grounds there and all the healings that had apparently happened there if you go by the Yakima tribe traditions. So, I mean, that's absolutely powerful. But when you think about it, man, for that person, all her life had trouble with that. And think about all the relationships, all the self-hate instead of the self-love, and all this thing that was attached to this distortion. Suddenly it was gone just like that. So I believe there are people on the planet like Sarah, like you, who go to places like that, even though it's just a normal spa, and it's not built or billed as a specific healing spot or magical spot. The fact that there are these divine feminine who are activated and can stand in those frequencies, you emit that, without even saying a word. What are your thoughts on that story?
My thoughts of the story, I think that woman, first of all, it's really sad that she went 60 years or how many years not loving herself, and her first experience is so traumatic of making love. My heart reaches out to her, but she's such a badass that she realized that, like, oh my God, I have permission. I can allow myself to love myself and let go. And that is the new way. That's the new earth. Like, we have, and I'm not saying that we should take it off everywhere. There's a place for everywhere, or should we? I don't know. Maybe we can. But like, I think it's a healthy way to start loving our bodies, is to honor our bodies also in nudity. I would like, my vision would like to see communities, if we're going to the river and we're an all community, children, elders, and all ages, I would love to see a community of nudity and being very free and loving in our own skin. When that starts to happen, the children that will grow up with that mentality will be very healthy in the way they love their body.
Yeah, and that's so important too. Like, as a parent, I hope to God I have 3 daughters won't be one of those ladies who wakes up at 60 years old thinking, oh my God, my whole life I was, ashamed and mortified of my body and couldn't be in that frequency. Could you imagine? Like, so I try as best I can to have. I actually told this story to the kids too, and they were like, well, yeah, well, that makes sense. To them, it makes sense, right? So it's not like talking to somebody who's been ingrained the other way for 40 or 50 years through all of this programming. So for them, it made sense. But again, these are the things that we have to have these conversations about. And I love that you're brave enough to have this conversation here with me, May. That's absolutely amazing. And thank you so much, everyone in the chat. And let us know what your thoughts are on that. Like, for a lot of people, still nudity, again, I've had shows here where we talked about Sacred Sex, the Healer Within. This was a series with Rihanna Watson. And some people accuse me of having porn on our site or promoting porn. I'm like, guys, you probably haven't watched the show if you think we're promoting porn, because it's the exact opposite frequency we're trying to suggest. It's all about the healing part of it. And so, but there's still people, as soon as they see the nudity, they equate that to porn. Don't listen. It's dirty. It's bad. It's, all the distortions are kicked in for them.
It's really, well, I just want to say, it's really letting go of the way that what we've been told and the conditioning of sexuality and our bodies. We've been conditioned that we open the TV or the radio and everything that was they're trying to sell us makeup and tanning for the better you. Like, what do you mean by better me? I'm already great. Like there's all, it's just this huge advertising, all bunch of bullshit that we have to like strip away in order to really see ourselves as perfect.
Yeah.
And it just takes a lot of work, and also all the conditioning, religion conditioning, things that stripped us and made us separate. And in the Judaism, they put the men separately, the women separately, and it's like, I don't know, maybe there's logic to it that I don't get. But.
Well, that could be a topic for another show. Okay. Yeah, because this is a deep topic, and I think for this episode, that's probably enough. I think, judging from the comments here, everyone understands the frequency we're trying to convey. So I think that's really important. But usually the problem is not in the live chat. It's in the after show and people putting comments underneath the videos who weren't in the live chat and who maybe did not have the benefit of the frequency during the live. So at any rate, we do what we must in this war. We all have different battles to fight. And I think this is a very important one. Again, it all goes back to Kundalini. So if you're going to talk about Kundalini awakening, mastering that energy, increasing that energy charge so that you can either heal yourself, one, and two, eventually apply that energy to your creations, it all starts with your feeling about yourself, right? So if you start with self-hate and you have all of these distortions around your body is the instrument that holds this energy. So if your body is depressed to such a level, you cannot activate those higher gates, as the Taoists would call the first, second, and third gates. So maybe talk about that also, how that connects, being able to be free, nude, and being able to love yourself is also one of those key doors to opening up and to engaging that Kundalini energy.
I think self-love is the main thing of everything, really, because when you start really practicing self-love, and self-love can mean many different things. It's not being, some people are like, oh, I love myself, I'm a narcissist. It's not like that. It's like more taking care of yourself, taking time to sleep, taking time for rest, not letting the rat race get to you. Oh, I need to be doing this and this. You don't need to do anything. You're perfect the way you are. Choosing to love the things, to do the things that you love, making time to do the things that you love. There's also mirror practicing. Like, you can sit in front of a mirror and just get to know yourself. My meditation table has a little mirror, like right in front of it. And I sit and I stare at myself. Just stare at yourself and get to know all of you and love all the parts of you. I'm 5'1". I don't know. You can't see because I'm sitting down, and I'm kind of chubby. I got an Egyptian butt. It's kind of big. Big thighs, and I'm tiny, and it's almost been such a challenge in this world, where you're raised with Barbies that are blonde and tall, and then you're like this short brunette and chubby, and I really learned to love myself just as I am, as if it's like I was put in this body on purpose to show the way to self-love. And self-care, taking those baths, singing, doing something creative. I can't talk enough about creativity and art, and like allowing yourself to pick up paint and a canvas and see what happens. That's self-love. Talking to the parts of your body, that you've been so like cruel to. If you've been cruel to your thighs because they're a little bit thick, or cruel to your body, you can put your hands on those spots of your body and say, I love you, you're beautiful. Your cells are alive and they listen. And they're also, there's water and fluids in your body. When you're talking to your body, it listens. If there's a part of your body that you don't like and you keep repeating that you don't like it and you don't like it and you don't like it, it's listening to that, and it's going to make it the way you think it's supposed to, like the way you see it, that you don't like it. But if you start talking to it in a way that I love you, you're beautiful, you're so sexy, I love you, just like that, you're going to see your body getting lighter. It's going to look better. and you'll have more energy because you're lifting yourself up as opposed to bringing your vibration down with our words, with the words that you say. So the way you talk to yourself is self-love, and it can be self-love or it can be self-hate, and you have the option to choose which route you want to go. Now, some people can tell me, oh, actually, I say things to myself, but I'm also in awareness. So I stop and then I say it the opposite. I have another friend that we always joke about, like if there's something that I don't like, let's say my thighs are too big and I love that. You say, and then you add, and I love that, in order to bring the frequency of love into that. And also not like dismissing what you feel, but it's a start of a practice. It's a beginning of a change, to start being aware of it. Oh, and I love that. I hate this and I love that.
It's tricking the terminology. You're absolutely right. It's a good first step to kind of switching the frequency. When I hear people, I often do that with them. I'll try to finish their phrase and they're like, oh yeah, I agree with the way you said it. I'm like, okay, doesn't that sound better to you? Yes. And if it sounds better to you, it sounds better to all the cells in your body as well. You and I talked about the experiments in water and how if you send love to water versus hate words, it changes the frequency of those little water molecules and the way they form. And so you see the distortion in the hate and you see the beautiful patterns in the love and in the joy frequency. It's the same thing inside your body. And the Taoists are very clear about this too. When they're using and raising Kundalini, they call it Chi. It's the same thing. They're using it to make love to their organs. So they'll send love to their heart, to their kidneys, to their lungs, and in the healing process, of course, before they get into more of the manifestation and getting into the creation with that energy. But it's a fascinating concept, and it's too bad there's not enough shows that talk about this. So I'm excited to have this conversation with you. This is absolutely amazing.
This is great.
And you're very intuitive. And of course, you're called Deep Intuitive Wellness for a reason. You're very intuitive. And so I appreciate these conversations. And so too do the people in the chat. So thank you so much, everyone, for all those amazing comments. Okay. Jim, oh my God, what a wonderful message. So many need to hear this. Yes, I absolutely agree, Jim. Thank you so much, man.
Self-love, self-love to the people. Self-love.
Yeah. All right. Yes, GC lingo. Made sure it's based on the state of wrap yourself in love. Yeah. Oh, talking about that. Talk about your next project here with clothes and how you're going to apply frequency to your clothing line.
Well, I've been for about a month putting through the software my art on clothes. It's going to be a digital print that's printed on yoga pants or on yoga shirts, kimonos, and long robes. T-shirts I haven't figured out yet, so bear with me a little bit longer. I haven't found the quality that I'm looking for the T-shirt that I want to do. I'm looking for an all-over T-shirt print, so if anybody wants to recommend something like that, I would really appreciate that. But I've been working to put it on a store, so it's already prepared for drop ship. I'm organizing it on an Etsy shop right now, so hopefully by next week it'll be ready. And then you can order it. And I think that it's so cool because my artwork has a frequency, healing frequencies, all these letters and light language and all these symbols that mean something. And all of them are different. I can put I'll put a little comment on each piece, what it means. And you can wear it and be that. And,
that's awesome.
And when people look at it, it's also they're getting activated. So it's not only you're getting activated, but whoever is around you or looks at it, they're automatically getting activated. So it's kind of activating clothes. Yeah.
So next week, maybe.
What?
So next week, maybe?
Maybe. I have somebody working on it. And so it's just a little more patience. There's a lot of pieces in there, so it just takes a lot of time.
Well, that's what I was going to ask you. How many products are you going to start with between the yoga pants and the shirts or the beach towels or whatever you're doing? Like, how many products will you be starting with?
I think there's like 6, but 6 of, like, there's one design, there's 6 of them. So right now there's 600 different items that I'm putting in there, but of 6 different, and there's a long robe, a kimono, yoga pants, a shirt, and a headpiece and a purse.
Wow.
So yeah, that's what I have so far. And it's just the beginning. So I'm sure that the more I evolve and the abundance comes, I can do more things with it. Yeah.
One step at a time, and also get a better microphone. One step at a time.
Should I remove it and just talk without it?
Yeah, it might be a little bit better. Do you need to charge your phone also?
Right, let's try it. 1 second.
Okay, hold on, folks. And while we do that, folks, please remember to go check out her website at deepintuitivehealing.com. And I believe there we still have a coupon code if you guys want to book a session with May as well. So we'll ask her about that here a little bit later in the show. But next up, we're going to be doing this amazing activation here for the 7th plane portal. So that's up next. May, let me do a sound check. Are you back?
I am here. Can you hear me well?
We can hear you. There's a little bit of distortion in the back, but we can hear you. Okay.
You sure? Is this what you prefer it to be, or should I go back to these?
You were louder with the other mic, but the other mic also has distortions when you're moving. My guess is put the other mic on for now. At least people will hear you a little bit more, especially if as we go into this activation, we want your mic.
I apologize, everyone. I apologize.
No worries. Laura Tetro says, I would love to help promote this.
Promise next show, it's going to be better. Promise.
Laura says, I would love to help promote this. I believe she's talking about your clothing line. So folks, don't worry.
Let's do it.
As soon as May's ready with that, we'll do a show on it. And if you guys want to help out and if May needs some help, we'll organize all of that together with you guys. So thank you so much, everyone, for your support. Okay, let me give me a mic check. I heard that.
Okay, I know. I don't know what to do. I didn't do it last time. I don't know.
Uh-oh, you're frozen.
I do have also my other. Am I better now?
Yeah, you're back. Okay, we're good. Okay. How do you feel about doing an activation? How's your energy right now? Do you want to start this now, or do you want to talk a little bit more first? How do you feel?
No, I can do an activation. I'm ready.
Yeah? Okay.
Is everybody ready out there?
Guys, are you ready for an activation? Give us a big thumbs up if you are. All right. So let me bring this up. And thank you for that, Laura. Okay. Here.
How long do I have?
One. How long do you need?
Whatever time you give me. Whatever you think is right.
It's all about you. You tell me. And I'll give you that 1 minute warning.
We can do... I would say 10 minutes for the activation and another 3 to 4 minutes. I can do a full meditation to bring everyone to the 7th plane. And I think that would be appropriate for this activation because we're going to bring that energy from the 7th plane. It's going to be, the meditation is going to be longer from the last time. So maybe 3 to 4 minutes for that. And once I start the activation, just time 10 minutes.
Okay. That makes sense. Okay. All right. And so everybody's giving us a thumbs up. They're all ready. Okay. What do they need? Do they need to be, should they pick up a crystal if they have one? Should they be?
Yeah, you can pick up a crystal. You can lie down in a place where you're comfortable. You can sit in meditation. You can sit in just the way you're comfortable. I don't want you to fall asleep. I want you to be very alert. So maybe sitting in like a meditation pose would be good.
Okay.
Okay.
And I'm going to take Ocean Odell's 5 hearts. I like the 5 hearts. Okay, so we'll put that on the screen.
Also, I brought my Lemurian crystals here. I know how to read them. We'll see what comes through if supposed to work with them. They have all these little chips and lines. Do you see them? They hold information from Lemuria. They also have seeds in them. And I work with them in my sessions as well. It's pretty amazing the things that I do with them. I put them in grids and move them underneath if I'm doing a session in person, I move them in different grids as I'm working on clients. And they mean different. It's like reading them, but not like you think reading something, like reading a book. It's just knowing what to do with them to hold a frequency while I'm working with the client. It's pretty amazing. Right. So I might use them while this activation. I'm just going to put it next to me and see what wants to come through.
Okay. And Stacy says, is Moldavite okay? For this, yes, absolutely. Moldavite is going to be a big transmitter crystal for you. Okay. Let me see here. Oh, yeah. Okay. So, yes, please, folks, while we do the meditation, I'm going to bring up Ronnie's comment. So thank you, Ronnie, for reminding me. It helped me, and it helped me also.
Thanks, Ronnie.
Yeah, in the show, guys, if you can keep a chatter to the very bare minimum here during the meditation and the activation. And of course, we can always resume once we start talking again. Okay, so let me bring up the frequency of your artwork for this meditation, May. And Is there anything else you want to tell the audience before we start? Or
Well, I'm gonna bring them into the meditation, so
and in the
I'm
meditation,
already gonna bring you through that. But I'm thinking I have another set of these. Should I go try to see if it'll be better? Because I hate to think that this is so bad.
okay,
The
let's
sound
give
is
it a try.
okay. Hang on.
It's worth it. It's worth the wait. Let's give it a try. Danielle, I have 7 to 8 crystals like that. Awesome. I'm guessing you mean the Lemurian quartz. Those are amazing. Merkaba in hand. Do I have my Merkaba here? I have a few pyramids. What do I have? I do have a Merkaba. Hold on a second,
Wait,
too.
how is this? Is it better?
Okay, give me a sound check again.
Hello, 1, 2, 3, 4.
You sound really good there.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'll leave these on. Cool.
Okay.
Hope.
And hold on just 1 second here. I'll go get my Merkaba.
Cool, Laura. Merkaba in hand, Lemurian and crystal. Yay.
Yeah.
Wow, it's so beautiful.
Yeah, I really like this guy. This girl, Rose Quartz. She's been around 17 years now, this one. And I've traveled with this around the world too. So she's got energies from a lot of places around the world. Okay, so
That's
yeah,
cool.
I'll put that in front of me. All right. Okay. Okay, so you said meditation first, and once you start with the activation, 10 minutes. So I'll give you the 1 minute warning just before the 10 minutes. Is that right?
Yes, just
okay.
After I bring in the 6 direction angels, after that start to time me.
Okay, sounds good. Let's get started, folks.
So I invite, if you can turn off your microphone so I won't hear you, that'd be great. Okay. So I want everyone to start closing their eyes and bringing their awareness into their body. You can rub your knees, move your head a little bit, start getting comfortable, and dropping in your skin in your vessel. And I want you to start gently breathing through your nose, inhaling through the nose, bringing the breath all the way up to the crown, and gently release through the mouth. And one more breath through the nose. And as you're taking the breath, your whole body is waking up with light and love, bringing the breath to the crown, and hold the breath for 3, 2, 1, and release with sound. Allow yourself permission to release the breath with sound as it releases tension in the body. And with your next breath, inhale through the nose, bringing your intention for the activation through your mind's eye all the way to the crown. Holding that intention in your crown, squeeze your stomach and hold the breath for 3, 2, 1, and release with sound. With your next inhale, this is the last inhale we're going to do, bringing up to the crown, allowing the breath to activate your whole body, and hold the breath in your crown for 3, 2, 1, and release this time through the nose. Bring the breath all the way to your heart. Bring the breath all the way down through your stomach, and then through your hips. Bringing that breath through your thighs and your knees, all the way down to the soles of your feet. I want you to bring all your awareness to the soles of your feet. Imagine your feet expanding with white light. And imagine roots growing out of your feet. Big roots expanding into the room where you are. Wherever you are, they start expanding and stretching into the room where you are, circling the space. And as they are growing and stretching, they find a little spot on the floor and they crack a hole. And they stretch downwards through the cement, through the grass, down into the earth, deeper and deeper. Notice the temperatures shifting from cold to warm to hot. Notice the temperatures in the soil, in the ground. And as the roots stretch deeper and deeper, they are absorbing Mother Earth's infinite knowledge, her wisdom, her love, her stability, anchoring you in the core of her earth. I want you to imagine the roots anchoring into something in the earth and then stretching upwards, continuing to grow all the way back up through the soil, through the layers and the heat. Feeling the heat shifting back to warm, shifting back to cold, absorbing the minerals and the crystals, all the nutrients in the soil, bringing it all the way back up to the floor, all the way back to your feet, bringing all that energy to the roots of your feet, the soles of your feet. And as your body, as if it is drinking all this energy, it illuminates every cell and every molecule, starting with the feet, slowly going upwards towards your legs, your knees, your thighs. I want you to imagine that the energy is continuing all the way to the root chakra, where you'll see a lotus flower. When the energy touches the lotus flower blooms and opens and shines, activating your stability, grounding you with Mother Earth. The energy continues to spiral up and activating your sacral chakra, where all your creativity and sexuality lives, activating abundance of creativity, and bringing all that energy up and spiraling up to the solar plexus, inviting the power that you are aware of and inviting the power that you are yet to discover, welcoming it and inviting it. The energy continues to travel in circular motions, spiraling up to the heart, activating your soul's DNA, expanding the heart. The heart is getting bigger and larger with this light, inviting your soul's DNA to be activated easily and effortlessly. And as the energy travels and spirals even higher, it reaches your throat chakra, activating your highest truth, the truth that needs to be shared, needs to be heard from the highest perspective, from love and light, welcoming it. As the energy continues to travel, it goes through your face, all the way up to your third eye, activating your psychic abilities, and also activating and welcoming the psychic abilities that you are yet to discover. Inviting it and feeling it. And as the energy rises up to the crown, you'll feel a swirling sensation in your crown, activating your receptors to source, opening up the pathway, the gateway between you and source, your antennas to the creation. I want you to imagine a bubble of white light hovering above your head. It might be small, it might be large. I want you to look for the door in this bubble and walk inwards. and shut the door sealed tight. Look for a button in the bubble of white light, and I want you to press it. And as a fast cosmic elevator, you shoot into the sky, faster and faster with the speed of light. Earth is getting smaller and smaller. And as you look up, you see the blue sky, you see clouds shifting into darkness, into the galaxy. You'll see burning suns, star constellations, stars that you are familiar with, and galaxies and stars that are new to you. You're going higher. And as you exit the galaxy, you'll see a bright white light followed by a dark light. You're going higher. There'll be another white light followed by a dark light. You are going even higher. In fact, there's another white light followed by a dark light. You're going even higher. And as you go upper and higher, faster and faster, you will see a golden, glittery, shimmering light. That is the fifth plane with all the ascended masters. You might see beings that you are familiar with, beings that you have shared past lives with, maybe even future lives. You may say hello, and you're going higher. And as you keep stretching in up and up, you'll reach this thick jelly substance with all the colors of the rainbow, where all the laws of the universe exist. You might hear sounds you've never heard before. You might see geometric shapes and patterns. You might see equations that are new to you. Enjoy it, and you're going higher. And as you stretch higher and faster, you will reach this white, iridescent, enchanting, glorious white light. And it is all around you. Your bubble cosmic elevator stops. You click on the button and you walk out. The door shuts. The bubble pops and dissolves. Your form dissolves, and you become one consciousness with the creator of all that is. Welcome to the seventh plane. Take a deep breath, inhale this white light into every cell of your body and feel it. I call in angels of the north and angels of the south. I call in angels of the east and angels of the west. I call in angels of the heavens and angels of the earth to come stand around our vortex that we have created here together. May you shield us all with your love and light, with your armor, and triple the layer. I call in Archangel Michael to bring his blue light and shield us with his armor, blue light and love, in another triple layer around the white light. May no lower frequency, being or entity enter through us, above us, around us, or below us. It is done. It is done. It is done. Creator of all that is, I command to activate in 10 minutes a powerful activation to open the crown chakra, a portal to be connected to you, to the seventh plane, to bring love, light, and clear guidance for everyone who is listening. It is done. It is done. It is done. Om Dum. Homma ya tata suwa ya a omma ya a suwa iwa. Hoa wahiana na suku ya takahiana yama iwa wahiana iwa. Oya ya hiana uwa wahiata kiota tasua hayata taka iata iwa. Hoa wahiata iwa. Hoa wahiata iwa wasua hiata iwa wasuiata iana nasua. Oya ya hiana hoa wahiana iwa. Hoa wahi iwa wasua. Hoa a hiwa wa hoa hiwa. Hoa hiata iwa wa owa hiata iwa. Om. Om. Toya ya hiya homma hiana iwa wa hoa hiwa wa homma mahiana nasuya takahiana a yana iwa wa hoa wahiana iwa wa oya Hom ayata iwa wa owa wa yana nasuyata i. Toya ya hiana suwa iwa wa. Hoya ya suwa iwa wa hoa wa hiwa wa atuyata iwa wa suyata i. Om. Oya ya yana uu hayata takahiana yatatakua hayata swa iyaha. Hoka kyata hiwawa. Hoka kyata hiwawa. Hoka kyata hiwawa suwa hyata hiwawa. Oya ya hi a a. Ho a hi a suwa. Ho a suwa. Ho a su yata iwa wa yata iwa. Oya ya hi ana. Hoa wa hi ya. Hoa wa hi ya suwa. Hoa wa hiata hi ana suwa hi iwa. Oya ya yana uwa wa ya asuwa iwa wa ya asuwa iwa wa ya asuwa iwa. Hoya ya yana.
1 minute remains.
Mahyanana. Suyata iwa wa. You're welcome to snap your fingers around your head, around your body, to disconnect your energy field. Bring your hands in prayer in front of your third eye, saying your gratitudes to Spirit and the Creator in the seventh plane. Saying gratitude to your angels, to the angels that were protecting us and were showing up for us. bringing your hands in prayer to in front of your heart and bowing to your heart in gratitude to yourself and to your higher self for being here, for showing up for yourself, for opening up your heart, your body, and your consciousness to this activation. I want you to imagine a parachute in the 7th plane. I want you to attach it to yourself and slowly but surely come back down through all the planes, through all the different realms, back to planet Earth. Oya ya yana nasua I wa wa yana I wa wa yana I wa wa suwa haya tatakuwa hayana yana nasua. Gently start touching your arms, your shoulders, your knees, and if you have to, touch your feet to ground back into the earth. And gently open your eyes.
How's it going, May?
I'm still there. I'm still landing. It's really interesting to do such a strong activation in such a short time. So it's just like the difference, and then meaning like, oh, I have to talk now.
Right.
Human language.
Human language. Yeah, come back to the body. I gotta tell you, my Merkaba was really hot. Like it really started like really being hot. Maybe about a minute into it, I was like, oh wow, that's fascinating.
Maybe next time it will levitate.
Yeah. Actually, I think it's levitated before. At least maybe some elementals were playing with it. It was on a portal a couple of years back. We were doing this grid keeping. And at any rate, the next day I had a little chip on it. And I was like, huh. It's kind of like it went, I saw it in my vision. So I didn't actually see it do that during the night. But I saw it go up and then fall back down.
Whoa.
And then hit the rock and all that. Yeah, all the crystals we had placed in the grid had all been moved. So I thought it was kind of fascinating. At any rate, wow. So how did you guys feel in the chat? Let us know how that made you feel. I'll start first. Seeing as there's always a little delay in the chat here. I started very quickly having the crown chakra, like a lot of tingling. It felt at some point like lightning bolts, like just a lot of energy going through. Absolutely amazing. You made some different sounds today too that you didn't do in the first 2 activations. With the breath work as well, there was something very, very poignant about that. Like it caught me even with my eyes closed that there was I don't know if you were doing a clearing there, if you can explain that, but there was something you were pushing out with this breath. Do you want to talk about that a little bit while we wait for your comments?
Yeah, I also burped, which I'm still doing right now. So like I shared before that I clear energy with like that, and sometimes burping comes out. And I wonder if it's anything in my body because I'm activating so hard, or it's the collective, because it can be either or. It's just energy that wants to leave.
Right.
And I'm also in a vessel. So maybe something was stuck even in my vessel because it's really powerful. So it could be either or.
At one of them, because you did it more than once, I got the image of a dark energy trying to come in, stop the meditation, and you just pushed it back out. That's what I saw. I'm like, oh, okay. Like, here, go away, mosquito. Like, that's what you did to it. So I thought that was really cool.
That makes sense, actually. And I've never thought about it like that because I do so much work to shield it, but it could be something that was trying to get in. I love that explanation. I'm like, go away.
Go away. You're just a puny mosquito. Get away from here. Yeah.
Next time we can make a little cartoon of a little energy.
Exactly. Candy says, wow, that was incredible. Thank you so very much. Love that. Lovely grounding with feet. Oh yeah, so a lot of people like that first step where you create the roots. That's very poignant for everyone. I remember the first time I did that was on also a portal for some grid keeping work, and it was just like it brought us really, really down into the crystal core, and it was just like absolutely amazing. And ever since I started doing that again, I go right back to that place like that. It's really amazing. So guys, practice that a little bit more often. You'll find a lot of benefits to that. Great activation was fascinating. Sunset holding the copper zinc rods. Oh, interesting. Okay, it was amazing.
The copper
Heavy
is
and-
really grounding. That's beautiful.
yeah. Heavy and light at the same time. Okay. Anybody having feelings in their crown chakra? Let us know if you had any tingling sensations, electrical discharges. Were you feeling anything move up your spine? Maybe. Let us know. What were you feeling, May?
Oh my goodness, just totally into it. And my voice, I was really using so much voice that I felt like I was drying up. But I was like using every energy in my vessel. It was so strong. Like I think it was stronger even than last time before the rain. Like the noises that came out, the sounds that came out, the sounds that came out were a lot more throat. Like the overtones and the beats were like from my throat, and I was pushing out a lot of sound. So I just felt very activated and very powerful. Sorry if I burped. Excuse me, spirit burp.
That's when I gave you the the 1 minute mark. Was that there?
I don't know. No, you didn't hear it? Maybe
No, I think I
hit-
spoke over it, so nobody heard it. Okay, very good. It was
Maybe I hit it
perfect,
well.
perfect timing for everyone. Okay. The other thing too, I had my eyes closed for most of it, but towards the end, I was guided to open my eyes to see what you were doing, and you had your crystals on your temples. What were you doing there? Do you remember?
It's really intuitive and guided, and I feel like it's bringing the codes from the Lemurian crystals in that space. And it also, sometimes I flip them. One would stay one way, and then I'll flip the other one during a session and then flip it another way. I think it holds a frequency. That's what I mean. Like I read them and I know how to tune them. It's not with a logical explanation. It's just a knowing that comes through. And I believe it's just the information that's in the crystals that I'm bringing into the activation.
Okay. Jenna says, yeah, she was floating. Light, airy energy. Absolutely. Mary says, I was tingling all over, feeling hot and so wonderful. Okay. Very hot. See? Yeah. Yeah. The Merkaba was really hot too. I was like, okay. So we're all, and of course I've got the spinning Merkaba just atop me here. So we were all focusing on that same image. That's amazing.
Can
Wow,
you
great.
also show the last art piece that you showed? I want to explain. There's instructions. I did that right before the show. I got instructions to do a 7th plane activation. And so it says here, this was a portal to the 7th plane, placed under the bed for 3 days and 3 nights. And then release with gratitude. This will activate direct connection to the 7th plane. Say a prayer for you and the collective before you go to sleep. The heavens are listening, and blessings. And so you can copy paste it and maybe print it out and try to see if you can maybe screenshot it from my Instagram and print it out. You're welcome to. I give you permission to do that.
Very good. Awesome. Man, that was so cool. Again, every time you do this, I was like, okay. And then you do it again. It's like, it's even better than the last time. So it could be me also. I don't want to say hearing more, but understanding more what you're doing without knowing what you're doing. Like intuitively, just like I'm on tune with you more and more as you're doing it. So I think the audience, let us know in the audience, if you've seen more than one of these activations, are you also somehow tuning deeper into what she's conveying somehow? Are you getting that feeling of not deja vu, but that feeling of maybe deeper understanding? I think that's what I got tonight. Like it was more familiar. It was more like, oh yeah, that makes sense, as opposed to the couple of first times like, what is she saying? You see what I mean? Like I find a difference in myself listening to you. So I'm wondering if the audience feels the same way.
I want to share that I also feel the same way because it's totally coming through me and using my vessel to bring it through. I learn it and understand it. I've been learning it ever since it came through, and I've been studying it through me. It doesn't come with the manual, so I understand it more and more. I wonder where I'll be 10 years from now, with this, with this light and where it's going to take me. But the understanding and the knowledge is getting more expanded, more understanding that I can even share to clients, hey, I'm doing this and this and this. Just, yeah.
Wow, that's fascinating. And you know, that brings me into this next topic. Let me see if I can find where was this? Videos. Hold on a second here. You're just making me think of something. I think it was in this episode here. Yes. Okay. In my last episode with Janine, I think so. This was last Wednesday. We talked about this hypogeum in Malta, and this is an old structure that's been carved out of rock. Some people believe it's, well, the historians, mainstream archaeologists believe it's 5,000 or 6,000 years old, whereas some other researchers are saying it could be up to 50,000 years old.
Wow.
And in one of the shows, Graham Hancock was saying that something is happening right now to a lot of these monuments on the planet, including this one. So it was popping up in our field last week. So I had Janine read some cards on it. And what she came up with in the live stream was that this originally was used for the highest good of humanity. It was created for the highest good of humanity. And it had something to do with the divine feminine frequency. And of course, it was taken over, overlaid, distorted, up until just very recently now. And we're all being called to kind of retune that to its original intent and purpose. And as she said that, she was pulling cards and she says, oh, and maybe we have to have women in there doing toning or singing to reactivate it. And I'm like, oh, you mean like this? And so during the live show, I showed her one of your meditations and she was like,
wow.
Yeah, exactly that. And so it's just so, the timing was so amazing. We had just done the show and then she pulls the cards on this and I show her that in the live show. And she says, yeah, not the light language part of your meditation, because I showed her that part as well. She specifically said the throat, the toning that you do. And so what do you think about that? Is that something that we can do maybe for the next episode and maybe harness some of the energy of the rest of the people here, especially the divine feminines, and maybe trying to activate those sites again for the highest good of humanity? How do you resonate to that?
Fuck yeah.
Okay.
Can I say that live? Yes. That means my full yes.
Fuck yeah. Okay.
Fuck yeah.
Pardon my French. Okay, very good. Okay, awesome. Okay. What did Jenny say here? JC, you said familiar at the same time I did. Okay. So yeah, okay. Jenny also said that feeling that it's more familiar this time around on the second time. It could be also, not that it's more familiar, it could be that every step of these activations you do and people who are being attuned to them, they now are calibrated to hear even more, right? So it's kind of like Reiki. You go to your Reiki level 1, level 2, you get these attunements, right? And as you get these attunements, you can get further attuned. You can't go to the master level attunement without doing the first attunement. So maybe this is part of it also. Do you think that makes sense?
Yeah, you need to make space in order for it to hold more light. So the more you do this, the more you hear it and your vessel becomes clearer, because you're also releasing things, right? Because it also is a purifier. So there's more space for more light afterwards. So it makes total sense.
Wow. Super Polio says, fuck yeah, girl.
Fuck yeah, girl.
I love it. Well, we could do a little bit more research on the hypogeum and we could take some pictures and maybe what we can do, and not to stress you out there, but maybe you can meditate on that too and see if there's any artwork or any symbology that you can bring in for the next activation as well, if that makes sense. I'm not sure what the process would be. Yeah? Okay.
That would be such a journey. I would love to do that.
Okay. All right. Awesome. Okay. And we're going to harness a lot of protection for that one as well, because I'm assuming right now a lot of these key places on the planet are still being fought over. And so we're going to have to be careful with that one. But I'm sure we can handle it, especially with the crowd we have here on this show. I think that would be absolutely amazing. Beautiful show.
Maybe we can bring up, like, each person that's going to come to the show intentionally bring an obsidian, a candle, some sage, and maybe make a grid with crystals for protection, so we can all hold a grid together. Yeah.
So what I can do, I'll probably have to do like a pre-video to explain that to people so that they come prepared for the video. Actually, why don't we do that now? At any rate, if you and I are going to continue on this series, and I think we are, I absolutely love this frequency. And when you called in Archangel Michael and the blue light, I almost brought your poster up because I'm like, dude, it's right there in your face. I love that frequency. I absolutely love it. Well, why don't we say this to the audience then? If they want to continue in the series with us at every show, to bring some crystals so that they can do a grid. So let's talk about that now. Let's give an example of what you would propose for the person who may be the novice, right? Who might only have 2 or 3 crystals in their possession and maybe no crystals, what they can do, to the people who have the full tilt, Lemurian quartz and all of that stuff. What can we tell them how to prepare for the next show?
I don't think you should go and buy crystals for it. Use any kind. Crystals are like one of a kind. Any crystal that you have is always going to be one of a kind. There's nothing like the one that you have. And so you can take all the crystals that you have. This is for the people that don't really understand crystals. And I want you to intuitively put a grid, like maybe you can put one, you're sitting, and you can put 1 in front of you, 1 behind you, and 2 on the sides, or 3 in front of you. Or if you only have just 1, put it right in front of you. Just intuitively, I want you to tap into your power and set a grid however you feel. And it's intentional. The intention with the crystals is to protect. So with that in mind, you put the crystals however you feel protected. Crystals hold a frequency and they hold a vibration. And if you don't know, crystals also absorb energy. So if there's energy that's trying to invade your space, the crystal can take on that. And then you can go and clean your crystals on salt or in the moonlight. You can clean them put them out in the full moon or put them in water. I'm getting chills on that. Interesting. Yeah. And so start getting friendly with your crystals. It's really technology. It's just not, you don't put it in a socket, but it's great technology to use.
Absolutely. Okay, and talk about the difference. Well, first, don't put your selenite in the water, folks. If you're new to this, you don't put selenite in the water.
Oh, yeah. By the way, my crystals are on a flat piece of selenite. So every time I use them, I just put them back on the selenite. You don't have to wet the selenite. You just put them on here, and the selenite is a purifier. Exactly. And you just put it, and then they cleanse themselves. The selenite takes on all the energy. Yeah.
I don't know if I can show you my selenite for the show. Sarah got this for me when I started this channel. I'm like, okay, it's big.
Whoa!
It's heavy.
Wow!
So that's okay. Whew. That's the clearing for the show and for this channel. So you can imagine all the frequencies that go through here. And I also have this huge transmitter quartz. It's not here right now. It's at the office, but I'll bring it for the next show. And I think, yeah, it's calling. It'll be here for the next show. I think we'll have fun with that. Yeah.
I want to also share that selenite is, you can take a wand. They're really inexpensive. It's such a beautiful crystal that really doesn't it's so available for everyone. And you can clear your aura with it. Just clean your whole body with they sell like these selenite sticks, and you can use that also to purify every morning, every night. Just giving some more advice.
Up a picture here that shows exactly what you're talking about. I love how you and I are like really on the same page on a lot of things. That's amazing. Awesome. Do I have a picture of that?
I love that selenite that you have. It's so good.
And this is from I shouldn't say this.
I would just hug it, thank you.
Oh yeah, it's absolutely amazing. It's absolutely amazing. So okay, hold on. So I'm gonna show you this image here. This is me. Hold on. Can I share screens with you guys here? Is this going to work? Yeah, it kind of works. Okay. So let's see if I can bring it up here. So that's the selenite wand, as you're talking about there. In here, this is a quantum kind of Reiki session. So I use sound, so mostly the solfeggio tones, with the light. So they all change together. So I have this program that changes the light with the sound frequency.
Amazing.
As we're using the crystals on the different chakras. So that's absolutely cool. But that's another selenite wand there. Absolutely, really, really cool stuff to work with.
Wow, I would love a session. Wow, that looks amazing.
Come over anytime.
I always actually advice that I give to people, if they have to heal their throat chakra, I always tell them to go buy I want to make one actually. I would like to create a necklace that changes light for the different lights for the different chakras, because sometimes you really need to strengthen one chakra and you need that light because it's a frequency to strengthen that chakra. So maybe we can collaborate on that one day and maybe create something like that.
Yeah, well, I was thinking here because what I often do is I take one of the lights that's in the room that's pointed at the different chakras. So when it's the red one's at the root chakra. So anyways, so when I put my wand on there, it actually captures that light from that one spotlight that's hitting it, right? But really what I would love is to have that in the wand attached, maybe like with a flashlight, where I can change the LEDs as we're doing the work. So it would be even easier and seamless. Yeah, it would be even, yeah, it'd be cool. Okay. Wow, what a really cool show. What a really cool show. I love that. Wow. Thank you so much, everyone. That was great. Thank you for your participation. Thank you for being...
Is it done? Are we done?
Well, we're an hour and a half in. Is there anything else you want to share? It goes quickly.
It goes so quick. I'm just shocked how quick it goes.
I was looking at her notes. We talked about the clearing, the baths, the dancing, old programs, learning to...
to let go
learning to speak to source. You haven't talked about that. Let's get into that here. Okay. So there you go, folks. We're going to do some bonus overtime for you guys. Learning how to speak to source.
This is a practice, that you should, if you're not doing it already, to learn how to speak to source as if it's your best friend or your ally. I think we've disconnected, a lot of humanity disconnected with like, oh, I don't believe in source. It is so alive. It is so there and so just waiting for you to ask for permission for like, do this for me, bring my abundance. And I want you to practice consciously to speak to source as if you're commanding it and it's yours, whatever it is that you want. Like, for example, creator of all that is, like, this is how I manifest, okay? Just like if we're talking about manifestation, and also just not manifestation, even just prayer, okay? If you want to pray, creator of all that is, I want you to please bring this and this and this my way. Please send healing. You can send unconditional love, by the way, to anyone you want. You don't have to ask for permission. You can always, if you have somebody that's sick or not feeling well, or you just want someone to really be successful, you can always send unconditional love, and you can just ask source to do that with you. And then if you want to manifest something, it's always nice to like connect on that level of what do you want for yourself. Then you can say, you can connect to the seventh plane, by the way. If you wanted to make a space to actually manifest for yourself, you can listen to the meditation I did before to connect to the seventh plane. And once you're there, it's like you're saying, creator of all that is, I command that I have a successful, for me, I want a successful clothesline with my artwork. So, and I say it as I'm already there and expressing exactly what I want. And then when you're done with all the little details, then you say, it is done, it is done, it is done. And just talking to source in general, like just being connected to that energy is important. And that way you'll also strengthen your connection to source. The portal, the activation, the crown will start getting stronger when you vocalize and when you connect vocally, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, absolutely it does. Okay. Folks, do you have any questions for May on how to connect with source or anything else from tonight's episode that you have questions about? Now's the time. Put them in high caps. And somebody was asking for the tip jar. I believe it was Jim. Thank you so much for that, everyone. And of course, yes, it was Jim. Thank you, Jim. I appreciate that. And yes, of course, this is how we do these shows, because of course we were deleted quite a few times for having these conversations here on YouTube and also demonetized. So we do move forward with your generosity. Without you guys, we don't exist. So thank you so much, everyone, for your generosity. So any questions for May? And we'll bring that up. I think the first one, May, let me bring this one up. What frequency do you see here?
What are those crystals?
Mm-hmm.
I see different frequencies. I see there's the red crystal in the root that's grounding. It's just a balance that's happening. She's using crystals to bring balance to the energy field with the different colors and with the different crystals that are aligned with the vibration of that chakra.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. That's Sarah, by the way.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. I don't, well, some of you have seen Sarah before on the show. Yeah. And I think I forget where it was. It was probably on one of our trips. We did a video. It was in last year's YouTube channel. Anyways, that one's gone. But anyway, she's camera shy. All right. Yes, awesome. Anybody has questions? I'm looking for questions. Libby says, most excellent vibes here, everyone. Thank you so much. No questions, I guess. Okay, I think they're all kind of like, ooh. We're still somewhere like phased in and out of this space-time continuum, May. All right.
All right.
Okay, great. Let's go back to your website. How are the bookings going right now? Did you get everything sorted out with the time zones and everybody trying to reach you? Give us an update here on where your bookings are at.
Yeah, so the booking will show Pacific Standard Time, but there will be a button that you'll see to convert it to your own time zone. So you can click on that and it'll convert it to your own time zone. The discount is still BeyondMystic, all capitals. So you can just put that in there. I did raise the prices today. So just, you know, a session is $222 instead of $144. It's not too much of a difference, but I'm pretty much doing 3 activations a day, and it's been a journey. I'm wondering if it is a lot of work. And I'm learning that I have to really maintain a clear channel to deliver. What else was not activated last week? And the booking should be fine now. Like, it's all set. I think that I'm fully booked until October. There's still more spaces in November and December. Yeah, so just letting you know.
Perfect holiday gifts. There you go, folks. So the link is in the chat. It's also in the description box below if you guys are watching this on replay. So that's deepintuitivehealing.com. So I did see 1 or 2 questions. So let me see if we can address those quickly before we end the show. Dr. Ace Harden, I have a question. JC May, what do you chants mean, or what is being said during the chants or hymns?
It's not what it says. It's more of a resonance, a frequency that is clearing. So it's opening, again, it's acting as a purifier to clear energy. I want to share that when I do meditations in my own practice, and then the Kundalini is guiding me, sometimes I chant for a very long time, and then suddenly I'll have an energy leave my body. Sometimes they're just hidden, and so really it acts as a purification. It's a tone that's clearing energy. It doesn't mean words that we need. In the 3-dimensional realm, we always need an explanation, but sometimes it's just it's a knowing that it's clearing. It's a tone that's clearing energy.
Okay, yeah. Very good. Cecilia, hi JC, merci. Yet another awesome show. Beth says, give us homework for next week. Okay, what do we bring? So are we doing the Hyper-GM next week? Is that what we're doing? And what can the audience bring? Other than maybe the crystal?
Bring crystals. Bring us candle or 2 for protection. If you want to go really out there, you can bring 4 candles for the 4 directions. And you can put the crystals in between to hold a grid. Sage. If I do the activation and I start releasing energies, I don't know what's going to happen and how intense the energies in that space are. You can just sage yourself to feel safe if you want. And water. It's always good to drink and hydrate.
Okay, very good. Anything they can do the day prior to the show?
Maybe do a cleansing bath. Always do a cleansing bath. The cleansing bath is, I gave so many instructions. Yeah, do a cleansing bath. If you can do 2 this week, wow. Be so good. Yeah, start cleansing your energy and dance. I would love to hear about people that actually put music and gave themselves permission to move in ways they never thought they can.
Right. Okay. All right. That's very good. Let me see. I have another questions here. May, do you speak another light language?
Light language or another language?
It says other language. You're right. I'm assuming they meant light language, but you're right. I read that wrong. Another language. However you want to understand that question.
אני מדברת עברית. I speak Hebrew fluently.
Hebrew fluently. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Libby says the pic of Sarah on the giant rock with the cosmic purple light. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, that's on the portal. Let me see if I can bring that for the audience too. Actually, that would be a good ending for this show. Amazing energy. Let me see if I can bring that one in. I do have that somewhere. Hey, that's a great point, Libby. Hold on. Okay, there it is. Let's see if I can share a screen. This one here. Is that amazing? Look at the frequency in the rocks there. They're like dancing violet flames.
That's so cool.
Yeah, it's really
It matches
cool.
her outfit.
Yeah, and she's holding that rose quartz Merkaba we were using during this meditation here. Absolutely amazing.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Alrighty. Okay, folks. Well, man.
one more homework. If you can go to a hot spring naked, yes.
Even better. Fuck yeah.
Better. Yeah, fuck yeah.
Fuck yeah. Okay. But do respect your local laws, just in case. We don't
I'll
wanna
never
send you
say
in
it again
jail.
on live. Promise.
Okay. So I don't care about the language. That's absolutely cool.
The local laws,
Jim says,
they won't get in trouble.
Jim says, wow, I'm assuming to the picture. And who else? Beautiful Maryam. Thank you so much, Maryam. All right, folks. I think we should wrap it up here. That was an amazing first of this series here, Intuitive Healing with May Levy. You can find us again. I'm not sure. We haven't decided when the next show is. So May, I'll stay on after we disconnect here, and we'll try to pick up a date here for the next show, and we'll get our ducks in a row for this hypogeum reactivation here for the highest good of humanity. So that'll be for the next show, folks. So that was Intuitive Healing with May Levy. You can find her work at deepintuitivehealing.com, and you can also find her here on Instagram at, where'd that go? Something Light Scribe Art. There you go. And of course, all these links are in the description box below. So that was it, folks. Thank you so much for watching. And please do remember to like, share, and subscribe here on my third backup channel, Jean-Claude at BeyondMystic 3. And we'll see you soon, everyone. Have a great night. Au revoir.
Thank you.